Welcome to the Charleston Chicks. Today we have a very special guest, Jonathan Mookie Morant.
What's up, Jonathan?
Hello,
Mookie?
hello. I like playing accents. I'm not good. I can't get past hello. Cool.
Well, Mookie, tell us about yourself. Give us some background.
Well, let's see. I play music. I write songs. I've produced some pretty cool records. I'm a father of 5, which is that's the biggest thing. I can do a litany of lists that go under that umbrella. But my most proudest thing, and I'm also a writer, an author. I feel
With a
weird
book
saying
release today.
So yes, so news. What would you call it? Newsflash.
Newsflash.
Newsflash. So I released today my 5th book, and it's part of a series called Doing Love Different. But this one's called A Mother's Love, and just in time for Mother's Day. And it's about it's half biography of my mom, kind of a memoir about her life, which is really interesting in the way that it impacted me and our family and others. Music, children, the whole deal. And it came out today, and it's very. I'm
It's
humbled.
It's already hit number 1 on some charts.
Yep, it's already hit number 1, which is amazing. But again, I say we, like these are our books, because it's really inspired by my experiences, not only with my mom, but motherhood. Because having 5 children, one thing I know that I'm dad, and I'm very involved with all of my kids' lives. Always have been, always will be. But it's mom world. Without moms, none of this. So, I'm very grateful for my mom and the experiences and just everything that I've learned and the impacts of mothers everywhere. So
Well,
I love you,
as moms, we appreciate that.
We do.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We've
yes, yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
Now, I know you're very well known in Charleston. Like
Oh,
I
shoot.
mean,
that
I mean
that
that in
could
the
be
best
good,
possible
but that
way.
could be some other
All
things.
you got to
but-
do is say Mookie, and we know that guy.
Your name came up. I moved here 4 years ago, and I think I first heard within the first year that I moved here. And in context, because I think a lot of people know you and know about you. You prolifically, artistically, very prolific, right? Music,
Nice.
your background, and you've lived here for a really long time.
Yeah.
But you weren't born here, right?
No, quite. It's funny when people say a journey. My journey has been quite the journey in that respect, but it's physically been a journey. I was born in Canada, Montreal. It didn't really spend much time there. My father, actually, very well-known musician, Joey Morant, he had a record deal, and it was through a company in Canada. When I was born, he was up there recording. So mom, everybody was there. But then soon after, we were right back in the States, and he got to traveling. And so I lived the first portion of my life in New England. But I've been in Charleston, which is my home, since I was like 13. Many, 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 many years ago.
But your dad was from Charleston.
Yes, and that's how we ended up here. So he was a Charleston pop. But yeah, so he's just a musical legend. Performed with everyone in the planet that's famous and not famous, and just
It's a jazz trumpet.
yeah, jazz. He's a jazz trumpet player, phenomenal singer, but he also played every other instrument. Taught me and my brothers how to play all the instruments, and taught me drums.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up in Charleston.
So how many brothers do you have?
I have big family stuff. I gotta count them. 5 brothers. I want to make sure. Trust me, I go through this now. My kids go through this now, anyways. But 5 brothers and 1 sister, who is also, my sister is a ballerina, and she was amazing. She did The Lion King on Broadway for like 2.5 years.
wow.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, so family, all the family doing things.
So is everybody artistic in your family?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
I was
really
trying
cool.
to think, but yeah,
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my brothers had a band. When we were little, we had a singing group, and we performed with my dad all over New England. He was very popular, and it was really cool. Cut my teeth on that stage from like 4 years old. So
Nice. So I've heard a rumor. Haven't verified it yet, but I'm about to right now.
oh shoot.
You worked with Maurice Starr?
Yes. Whoa. Oh man, you're digging in the crates. This is very good. I actually was about to. Someone was asking me something related to the early days of my music career, and that was my first thought. And yes, Maurice Starr.
We want to know
So
all about
I
those
just
early days.
substantiated the rumor. Let's go. Tell us all about it.
So the crazy part, I don't know how many. I'm sure plenty of people know who he is.
I do.
But some people don't, and so I'm going to let you know.
Yes.
So Maurice Starr, actually, it was my first kind of break in Boston. Maurice Starr discovered and crafted the careers of so many huge artists, and let's just say New Edition,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby
of boy
Brown.
bands.
Let's just say New Kids on the Block, and we could just
Yep.
stay right there with it. And when me and my brothers moved to Boston, and completely broke. The level of broke, I don't think anyone would understand, but I understand. So we were just completely broken, just trying to just meet anyone, and it's Boston, it's not New York. So who you're going to meet, unless you get to meet New Kids
Maurice
on the
Starr.
Block or Maurice Starr.
And did you meet New Kids on the Block?
Well, check this out. This is so cool. And I haven't told this either. So one of my brothers heard that there was going to be this big birthday party. Now, Maurice Starr, they call him the General over there in Boston. He's very Boston famous. And that was a big deal because Boston's a big town, Aerosmith, all that. But he was a big deal worldwide, but he was a very big deal in Boston. So that these people threw him this big birthday party. It was like it might as well have been a concert, so many people.
Right.
So we just took it upon ourselves. Me and my brothers, we're going to hop on the train, and just go down to where the birthday party is. We're going to get in. We're going to be stars. Listen, that did not happen at all. But, we hung around for hours. We couldn't get in. Security, no possible way. We tried all kinds of tricks, sneaky tricks. Didn't work. So I gave up. I had it. I'm trying to be not as wordy, but this is a real cool story. I gave up. I was like, I got to go back on the train because I also was a single dad with my little boy who was Christian at the time. And my friend was there, but wasn't, just for a while for us to go to this party and try and make it. And so we dashed. I dashed. And two of my brothers said, we're just going to hang out. You never know. We can hang out afterwards. And towards the end of the thing, when everyone was leaving, they snuck in somehow. There was no security or anything. Didn't meet Maurice Starr, didn't do any of that. But there was one guy, this real, and I say this with love because I am one, nerdy guy, just had his little nerdy glasses, and I was like, ooh, cool. And he was there, and my brother said, hey, we got a band, and I got a tape. And the guy said, well, I'll take it and listen to it. Turns out he was Maurice Starr's accountant.
Okay.
But, okay, I'll try and speed this up.
But it
here's
worked.
what happened.
Okay.
The guy loved it and said, can I get you in? I'm going to get y'all to Maurice Starr's House of Hits. This is where all the bands come, and he had his own studio and all this stuff in Boston. And I'm going to get this to Maurice. It was really a long shot. It was really just, his guy who deals with his money. And so he had us come over. No Maurice, none of that. Maurice wasn't even hardly around. He was probably gone with New Kids. This was the 90s. They were huge. But he just loved it, and we kept coming. I would come in there with Christian, was a baby. We'd sit the baby on the ground, play the music. It was just insane. And then, finally, one day, he said, Maurice just came in. Can you guys hurry down here? We literally jumped on the train, raced. We weren't, we were uncouth, no dress, no anything. Ran down there. He pulled Maurice away from all these people into a studio. And Maurice, he was nice, but he looked like, look, I don't have time for this. And he just pressed play. it was just music that I was working on. And then Maurice stopped. It's like, he starts moving his head, and it was cool. And then, but there was no singing. So there's no song. And this guy's a songwriter, prolific, all this. And I looked at the boys. I said, look, we're going to sing a chorus. We sung a chorus. Now that goes back to my early days singing for my dad and them. We weren't singing at the time. I was trying to be some record producer. So we sung a chorus to him and just prayed. It was like, oh, I'm watching the clock was moving so slow. And he sat down, because he was standing up, and he sat down. He goes, and he looked at the guy. The guy's name was Travis. And then he got up. He said, I'm going to buy that song, and walked out. And that was it. I never saw him again. But he bought the song for a grand total of, get ready for this, get ready,
I'm dying.
$500.
Dang, that's some good money back then.
Let me just say, but for me, two things happened. First of all, that was everything. So broke, food stamps, all of it. Ask any questions you want. And that was everything. But it also cracked the code for me that, okay, I don't have to give up.
You can do this.
I can do this. Mm-hmm. And I swear to you, you asking about Maurice Starr, I get chills. It brings back all of this, and why I'm so lengthy wording it, because that launched everything else. Mm. Not that I don't have plenty stories with everything else, but
that was the beginning of the career.
That was the breakthrough where it actually something happened. I felt like I made it. You couldn't tell me I didn't make it.
A lot of people gave Maurice Starr music that he did not touch. So you made it when you did that.
Now, is that story in your first book, The Happy Has-Been?
So The Happy Has-Been, I do tell some. I think there is a nod to that, because there is also a New Kids kind of a connection. But I do mention that, but okay. I don't think at that length.
But not in detail.
yeah, not in
but
detail.
But you talk about in your first book more about the other artists, because you went on from that first entree point, right? You went on to do a lot of producing, songwriting for some very major acts. I mean, you're pretty well known.
Well, The Happy Has-Been was really a book about, or I should say is, I ain't done with it yet, watch. Mm-hmm. But it's majority about that. About my time in the record business and going on to produce records and songs and signing a record contract with my brothers, by the way. So we even did that, and it's mostly about that, dealing with that, and sometimes I pinch myself to it doesn't seem real, some of the things I've experienced, but believe me, they were real, and wow, it's something. It's quite a life, quite a journey.
So tell us your most favorite story about your time in the music industry.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say this wouldn't be my most favorite, because I don't want anybody to be mad. This is a favorite.
Well, okay,
right.
One of your top five favorites. How about that?
Because there are really so many.
Favorites.
Here, let me say this. I had a relationship, like a brother, with one of the guys in the Backstreet Boys. The oldest guy's name's Kevin. And we spent, like over the years, so much time together. I became friends with him and his wife, Kristen, who I adore. They invited me to his wedding. I wasn't able to go, but it was beautiful. And so my experiences with Kevin, here's a funny story. They did Everybody, Backstreet's Back. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when they shot the video, they were already large in Europe. Like, I'm talking mega superstar. They couldn't walk outside of the building. And we're about to break the States. So they were doing all the videos, like several of them. And they did that one. And when he got it and he came back to the States, we would always hang out. So he invited me. Him at the time had an apartment it was him and a dear friend named Keith McGuffey, who's also like a brother to me. And he ended up being like a superstar. They friends grew up together. But we all got together and watched the video. And so when he put it on, I swear I'm ashamed to say this, but this is hilarious. He put it on, and everybody's watching it, and I'm like, well, yo, this looks like a movie. But, and this is, I'm like, why is it Halloween? What's the deal with what? I don't understand what. I didn't make the connection, and it's the middle of summer, by the way. So I'm like, man, I don't know. So I was kind of like a hater. Obviously, I was way wrong.
I remember that
I was
video.
so wrong. So that was a cool experience. There's so many. I got to spending time with Will Smith, because I did a song for his soundtrack for the Men in Black with Genuine, another superstar.
Yeah.
And spending time with them. Here's the thing. All of these moments, like the parties, I did a few of those, all of those things. I got some awards, but the moments I remember the most are really personal experiences, because I just wasn't really into that kind of superstar lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, you understand what I mean? Like, I
do.
appreciated and I understood what it took to get there, but I mean, people used to laugh. I didn't change the way I dress. I just didn't do anything. I was just me. And to meet certain people, like I mentioned, Kevin and even Will, they were just down to earth. Like, there was none of that. There wasn't the air of like I'm some special person. And so having the relationships is really what I remember the most.
That's what counts
know,
the most. Relationship over everything.
I like that. Bro, I like it. Relationship, that means something else, I know. But relationship, I like it. But yeah, so I could go on. I had so many experiences detailed in that book.
Detailed in your first book.
In The Happy Has-Been. Everyone go buy The Happy Has-Been.
Please do. I mean, and it's fun. I promise you, money back guarantee, you will enjoy it. There is obviously this funny, I'm a funny dude, so there's fun. There's some real uplifting moments. I spent time in Brazil with the boys. By now, this is closer towards the end of my career, but still pinnacle. I was with them on their whole Black and Blue tour because I managed an artist that they signed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and so we did this tour, and the biggest crowds in history. Record-breaking, but again, I spent time alone because I didn't do all the hangouts. I was able to have my oldest brother, Bobby. He took a year off. He's a school teacher in Northwest Territories in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So it's frozen.
Yeah.
So he took a year off and came out. We went and did this tour, and we went to the Christ statue. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Yes.
But the point about it was we walked up. So you drive up, but then at some point you have to walk. So we walked, and I just remember this wasn't about any making it. It wasn't about anything. Just bawling like a baby because I understood a couple of things. I understood that, first of all, this is an expression and an experience of love. And so many people, it doesn't matter your station in life.
Yeah.
It's universal.
It's universal. And it just was overwhelming. But also the fact, from back to that Maurice Starr moment to there, I still was a guy I just couldn't believe it. Yet it was happening. Some say that's imposter syndrome. I talk about that in here, but I think I was just overwhelmed in gratitude. I know it
Right. I
sounds
don't think
corny,
that's
but
imposter syndrome.
I don't think
You had
so
a lot
either.
happening you had a lot going on in your life.
Sounds like a lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
it's amazing. But anyways, I don't even know if I answered the question. So
No.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, so I have a question. You've songwriting, music production, performing, and you also manage artists.
Yeah.
Of all the things that you've done, like which one did you enjoy the most?
That's good. Man, they all have their moments. I've been writing for so long, since I was I would say 16, maybe even a little bit before that. My mom, she would have said that it was before that, and this is why I ended up writing books. But as far as lyrics and music, it's just something in me. Like I love music, so any part of it, performing. I mean, I play drums. Look, I've been back in Charleston playing drums 20 years now. Boom. It's what I do.
You are such a great drummer.
No, thank you. I'm okay. Look, all those awesome drummers out there, this is a blessing to hear, but I know the good ones. I was out there with some top guys. There's a friend of mine, I call him a friend, we were friends, named Teddy Campbell, who's a superstar drummer who does all the music production for like American Idol, like a big dude. He's a drummer, beast. I couldn't even compare to this guy on any given day. But I'll take that, and I appreciate it. I love playing music. I love writing. That's the thing. Managing an artist, I love the experience of it, and I learned a lot that is carried forward into other things, like just management in general, managing myself and just handling business-wise. But it was challenging.
Do you prefer?
I'm just gonna say.
Do you prefer writing songs or writing books? Is there
Yes.
or do you consider it one and the same?
No, for me, it's not one and the same. It's I could write I have the capacity to write a song, no problem. It's a page and a half if it's lyrics, and even if it's music, I just get the vibe and boom. Books humbled me to the ground because it's not that way. Even in writing, there's so much you have to take into. I look at it like visually. I look at books like you would see visuals. So if you imagine a movie, you're painting that picture in the movie, and you have to make sure it's accurate in the ways that it's portraying, because it's not like a concert. At a concert, you can get away with all kinds of stuff. Let me just be honest. But people are going to see it over and over. You read a book, you might come back to something and be like, well, what? You want it to reflect what you're trying to say. So it really, it's challenging, but I love it. I love writing. I have so many, it's just spilling out of me nowadays. So didn't answer the question again.
No, you did. So
Yeah.
tell us about your book that you wrote for Roman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Letters to My Son Roman, Love on the Spectrum. That is what it sounds like. It's actually a book of letters. So it wasn't so much orchestrated as it was kind of collected. And I started writing those letters to Roman before he was born. Like, I just was excited about, wow, I'm about to be 50 and I'm about to have another son. So this is a miracle. But no, I was just excited that he was on his way. And I just kept writing to him just privately, and found out that he was going to be diagnosed with autism.
Was that after he was born?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't know
Yeah.
until like 18 months between 18 months and 2 years. And but I never stopped writing to him. So I have learned so much from my experience as a dad, as a father to this beautiful boy, brilliant little nonverbal dude. I just felt like, well, I'm no expert, no professional in the field of autism, but I'm living this.
You're living it every day, and you're his dad, which makes
Yes.
you an expert.
Well, I'll tell you, he has taught me so much, and it's been so much joy and challenge, yes, but that's all kids. Let's get it
yes.
straight. We all know
Yes.
right here.
Yeah.
So it's not, whatever. It's just a different challenge, but I have learned a lot from him in terms of the art of communicating beyond words. It actually connects to music so well. Like there's so many correlations there. So trust me, there are more books to come. We'll leave that right there.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the communicating without words.
Yes. Well, first of all, you have to find a way to engage with each other. And what we typically do, we do it with our kids, our folks do it with us. It's words. We tell you, you learn this, and we show you. But if you're dealing with a child, particularly, or grown folk, who and that's not their medium of exchange, or you have to find a way. So there's a lot of tangible touching, and it's just beautiful. I wish I can't, my words aren't good enough. I try to write about it, but you learn, and they learn a way to navigate this life beyond the words. Now, at this point, he's 8.5, and he is starting to have some verbal communication, but it's more prompted and still not.
Is music a large part of your interaction with him? Because I think music does help some
Yeah,
children on the spectrum
absolutely
express themselves.
Absolutely. At least on my side, it's music constantly. But even with him, he loves his phone for his YouTubes, and he listens to the alphabet, and he listens to the things that he likes on repeat. But they are all, and I've noticed this, they are all involving music. They all have music. So that's my feel. So I make sure that when we're together, music is involved, and he enjoys it. In other words, I'm not, like I came up under Pop Joe Morant, where we were disciplined in music. I love it, but I didn't have a choice. My kids they don't go through that. He has his choice, but he loves music. And just writing, I wanted to deliver something that people could see, just real life experience. I don't have something, I mean, now I people ask me what I have to say, and I'll share my thoughts and what I've learned and what I'm learning, and maybe ways that I can help through what I've learned. But in the process, it was really just me wanting to share the heart of the joy and the beauty of another love, a different kind of love, doing love different. That's really what it is.
Which is another book. So everyone go buy Doing Love Different. So The Happy Has-Been and Doing Love Different.
Yeah.
2 books that are must-reads.
Okay, a question about Roman's name
Yes.
and your tattoo.
Very good. This is good. We're doing all the things. Cool.
Which came first, the tattoo or Roman?
Oh, definitely Roman.
Okay.
However, wait. Let me think about this, because when I knew he was coming, his name wasn't settled yet. But I kept seeing, and then coming back to this scripture that I had read, Romans 12:10. And this is so paraphrased, but I paraphrase it in the way that it really means to love one another. Is what it's saying. And I shared something recently. I've read books and all the different spiritual teachings and Stoicism. I've tried to just kind of digest. It's fun. When you start writing, the best thing is reading. It just helps you to gain more perspective. And I keep coming back to that. So once I found out his name was going to be Roman, and it was settled, it was a no-brainer. So I got a tattoo, and I was like,
Your
let me put this
which
on.
has
It's actually like a centurion helmet that looks like a Roman kind of warrior, and in there it says Roman 12:10. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm tatted up, man. I got all my kids in different places. California, a couple tats. I got some from Florida. I got some New York tats. I got some Charleston tats. I'm tatted up. Yeah.
Are all of your kids musical?
Okay, so they're huge music people. My son Christian, he's a poet. He's an artist. They're all very artful.
Now, Christian has a book too, right?
Yes, he wrote a book of his poems called Growth. It's awesome. He's amazing, and he's doing a lot of films now with his art and a collective of poets. And then my Mercy, they're all musically inclined, but their chosen paths so far, who knows? It's not music per se. So we'll see, though. I got a spot for them anytime they want to jump in with me.
So tell us about Heartlosophy.
Heartlosophy. So I just came up, I think I came up with the term because I like philosophy, and I do a lot. I read all the philosophers, and I try to, I try to take in what appeals to me, but also what's practical and what I can use. And it just, in everything that I read and everything that I'm experiencing or have experienced, it always came down to, again, corny or not, the factor of love and the heart. Everything I've witnessed that has impacted me, it stemmed from a place of love, not even from a place of goals. Had those, obviously, and tried to make something of my life. Not even from a place of music, although I consider music and love to be one and the same, but that's a conversation. But everything, I've just found that, so heart philosophy, but to say what it is, again, paraphrasing my own word, it's just acting and expressing and even attempting to attain your goals, but based on the heart. In other words, a heart-framed experience.
Like love in action.
It's truly love in action. And in fact, I would say on here it says, love, please. Originally, when someone saw it, people saw it and would say, thinking I'm asking for love. What I'm saying is love the verb. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like, I want people, I'm suggesting and I'm encouraging and pleading, thus the word please, for people to love. Because when you, by the way, add the factor or the component of love into, it doesn't matter what space you're in, podcasts, music, the corporate world, which I talk about in here, because I have tons of friends. I haven't, my life hasn't been the corporate world, although I have tons of friends in the corporate world. And the record business, it's a corporate world. So yeah. I have a lot of experience there behind the scenes. But when it's strictly goals or metric based, I can't always pinpoint it. Someone can't always pinpoint it, but you'll see there's just something is missing. Mm-hmm. Like the human connection was what I talked about in the first book, which is love. In other words, we're not here by ourselves. So connection, and not from a place of, well, I got to get something from you, you got to get something from me. That's what I mean by heart philosophy. Let's have love added into everything. Let your life be based on that. Again, I know people think, well, how does it fit into, my job? Well, what a cool experience you have to work with people if there's a loving component. Yeah. And when there isn't, I'll leave that. Y'all can chat. We could chat about that too.
It's time to go then.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's like it's an energy.
Yes.
It's a
yes.
that and I thought we're built for connection.
Yes.
As human beings. And when that energy is missing, things are less than they could be.
And I had to learn that the hard way. You said it, and you nailed it, because, and also, let me say that, because I'm not trying to pontificate. I'm not trying to, I'm not the professor of love or the professor of anything that I'm sharing. But after some of these lived experiences, lowest of lows and super highest of highs, at the end of it all, I can reflect on them and say, oh, there was no heart there. So there you go. That's the problem. Or there was there. And even when it seemed like, when I talk about I was broke, but I can tell you in those times, in that one room with 4 of us, had a 1-room flat, half a bathroom, and a baby boy, let me tell you, the heart was there. Mm-hmm. And it's still some of the most fond moments of my life. So it's perspective, Heart philosophy is really just perspective. It's like, listen, let's like you said, love and action. Let's act it out in every frame of our life. And at the very least, no matter what happens, because we're not in control of that in the first place, by the way, but whatever happens, it'll just be, at least in my experience, a better time in life. It'll be more well lived,
I agree with that.
That's it.
It makes everything more meaningful.
Yes.
For sure. All right, I want to dive into your new book
Yes.
in a little more
This
depth.
one? Or the one right? I don't have
book.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't have a physical copy
prolific.
yet. Those
I
are
know.
coming. The paperbacks are coming.
Because it officially is out for purchase digitally and otherwise, I guess, today.
Yes.
Perfect. In time for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And so I'll start with, I want to know, why did you decide to write a book about your mother?
Well, the timing is, it might seem staged, but it really isn't. I had been writing, been writing Doing Love Different all the prior year, and then it kind of morphed into the idea for a series. So there'll be more series parts of Doing Love Different, covering many, many topics, and hopefully I can have some co-authors jump in there. Maybe we tap in right here. Charleston chicks, jump in. Let's go.
I love that.
So it's the second in the series of Doing
Love Different, A Mother's Love. Well, I originally, it was going to be a different topic, but I kept coming back to this because even The Happy Has-Been, my very first book, it was released a week after, or not even a week after my mom passed. So my mom passed, and it was a rapid passing. So we found out about the cancer in August, and she passed in October. So all this was going on, and I spent her last moments with her, and I was faced with the choice, because I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this. My mom, I just wasn't going to do it. I was faced with the choice. But then I thought of my mom and what she would inspire me, and how many ways she impacted me, and this whole life lived that I'm sharing with you, some of the experiences, really goes back to my mom. And a lot of people think my dad, the musician, yes, definitely. But it was my mom who was my little secret weapon. She inspired me, who was also, by the way, a prolific musician. A prodigy, a child prodigy cellist. So I talk about that in A Mother's Love. And all of that kicked it to the front of the front of the line. I was like, I need to share this with people. And I was like, well, I'm done. Mother's Day's coming. Let's go.
So tell us about your mom.
Linda Natalie Sellinger Morant. The first thing I'll say is that I'm starting in the middle. She married my dad. She was from a Jewish family. Her family fled Nazi Germany and came to America and made an amazing life. Her dad was a doctor, and just an incredible life. And they raised her in the best of everything. She traveled around the world, learned cello, studied under Isaac Stern, who is a world famous conductor in the classical world. One of her best friends and her best friend married Isaac Perlman, who is the most well-known violinist of all times. And so music was her life. And she met my dad. They fell in love, all the good things. And her parents disowned her because my dad was black. My mom was white, so we went the white Jewish woman.
And this was in.
This was in the heat of the civil rights era, and so I touch on that, and I felt it was important because my mom carried all that. She left wealth, she left privilege, she left everything because it never. And if you knew her, and many people did, it reflected on her. You knew that wasn't, it was anything of meaning to her. Only the real things of meaning meant something to her. Back to the heart. I guess really, I'm not coming up with any of this. I think it was passed along to me from her because I watched her live it. We talk about things, but I watched her live it and share in ways with me and my brothers and my sister as we were growing up. Nothing but love. That's all there was. And So I wanted to write about it, but also I share. I talk about Serena Williams. I talk about some other Mother Teresa. I speak of other women, even though I don't know that Mother Teresa was a mom or not. But the point is the impacts of women and motherhood in my eyes, and but how powerful and what a priceless. Like, you can't put a price tag on what you can get from beautiful moms like yourselves, who passing it down, DNA included, and just impressing upon the next generations how important it is to have, like you said, the meaningful experiences in life.
Yeah.
Go for your goals and your dreams, and get you a dope car, and do all those things. This life, whatever, but don't get caught up.
Thank you for coming, seeing us and talking to us and sharing. I think something that's clearly so impactful in your life, and your desire to impact so positively everyone else that you come across, that, your energy is amazing.